Joins us now on Sports Tonight. Good evening, Emeka and Yadike. Welcome to Sports Tonight.
Good evening, and it's good to be on your Sports Tonight.
Okay, thank you so much. So we're talking about the semi-final action from the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. But before we get into that, Emeka, what sort of AFCON has it been for you?
I think it's been, a little bit below par for me, if you ask me. The idea to have 24 teams, not a bad idea. We were able to see so many countries that ideally wouldn't be there, and some good results and good performances by these teams. There wasn't particularly any team that you would say was overawed in this tournament. They all came in with something to prove, and the fact that Madagascar beat Nigeria and got all the way to the quarterfinals tells you that that's a good thing. The problem for me is there wasn't enough time. They moved it to Egypt less than 6 months ago. And between Egypt and CAF, they didn't do enough in terms of marketing the tournament. And so we didn't see a lot of people travel to Egypt. We didn't see a lot of Egyptian fans even take to the games. This is supposed to be Africa's biggest showcase. And on the field of play, I think to a large extent, most of what we saw in the World Cup last year with African teams performing very badly was again repeated this year at the AFCON, because in terms of the quality of play, in terms of their tactical and technical ability, no one is saying that African players can't play football. They can, but the game has moved on, and from point of view of progress, we haven't seen so much of that, and so on that score, I think it's been quite disappointing.
Yeah. Let's talk about the semi-final. No, before we get into the semi-final action, because Nigerian football fans will smile about this one. What's your take about the quarterfinal match where Nigeria defeated South Africa just because you're in Johannesburg, Emeka?
Well, for us here, any opportunity for Nigeria to beat South Africa is also always something for us to be happy about, because generally sometimes we get to this point where it seems as if all of a sudden they're a much better soccer nation than us, because they beat us in Uyo.
Yeah.
And we managed to survive a defeat earlier. But having said that, on the fun side, I think that if we are serious, we will know that South Africa is not too far away from us. They really, to an extent, maybe even ahead of us in terms of progression. We may have beaten them, but the fact that we lost the way we did yesterday shows that probably that win that we got wasn't how would I put it? It didn't prove anything in terms of where we are compared to South Africa, because we got a last minute goal, which came from what could be like an individual mistake, but overall, I think that the gap that we had over South Africa, that for many years we always beat them just by turning up, that era is gone, and it's a sign that we haven't really progressed. And if you look at, I know you haven't gotten there yet, but if you look at the fact that we lost to Algeria the way we did, this is the team that we beat so convincingly in the World Cup qualifiers. That should tell you where we are. Even Cameroon, that we beat, we didn't dominate them. We had moments in that game where we produced some brilliant interplay, and we got a result in that game. But if you look again at where we were before the World Cup when we played them and where we are now, Nigeria hasn't made any progress.
What could have turned things around for Nigeria yesterday in that match against Algeria?
I don't know what could have turned it for us. I think that, for me, my biggest worry with Gernot Rohr is that, I firmly believe that he's not up to the quality that that Nigeria requires, especially with the caliber of players that we have. And I don't think he chose also the best Nigerian talent, because if I look at his team, both the team he took to the World Cup and the team he took to AFCON, out of the 23 players that he's chosen there, there's about 8 players that won't come in and make any difference to the team. We don't have a good goalkeeper. In defense, we almost seem to patch. He cannot make up his mind who his best selection is. He can't make up his mind what his best formation is. In midfield, why does he bring Mikel Obi to the AFCON?
Mm.
He brings him there, and all of a sudden, maybe Mikel is his assistant coach or something. He gets to the point where, he's got really talented young players on the bench. He's got Henry Oyekuru, he's got Victor Osimhen. Odion Igalo might be scoring goals, but Igalo, for the way Nigeria plays, especially with General, who's very conservative and wants to break, Igalo doesn't offer any movement. He's very static. Ahmed Musa breaks down the left. Chukwueze breaks down the right, and before him, Moses Simon. And Igalo is not matching their pace of movement, and it's not matching their kind of movement. Igalo thrives when he's got someone that he plays, another striker that he plays off. And that works for him at Watford and works for him in his earlier career with the Super Eagles, where he played with Brownie Day. He doesn't have another striker, a strike partner that he plays with. So he's expected to play up front on his own. The ball is played to him. He doesn't hold up play very well. And make no mistake about him, I have a lot of respect for him for his goal scoring ability when he's got the chance. But when you play against a team like Algeria, they were so well drilled to the point that they kind of picked out that if they let Musa and Chukwueze run riot, they will struggle. So they kind of closed the loop on those two. And Igalo, who was supposed to make the right kind of moves, because he got a lot of those balls, couldn't do a lot of hold up play to bring others into the game. So for me, I'm not a coach, but I must say that we are lacking a lot in that department in terms of ability to get our team to play to our strength. And trust me, Nigeria, the strength of the Nigerian team is to play attacking football.
Yeah. It's
very difficult to get Nigerian players to defend for 90 minutes without losing concentration.
And that's what
we saw it.
That's what the Algerians did. They saw that we were going to get worked up doing all the runs, and they ran for 90 minutes. It is what it is. Senegal will take on Algeria in Sunday's final. What sort of final match are you expecting?
I think I expect a much better game. I think Senegal and Algeria are the best two teams within this tournament throughout. They've improved with every game. I mean, Senegal, they're in the finals. Sadio Mane missed 2 penalties. That's to tell you how good they are, that they can miss 2 penalties and still be in contention. And the Senegalese team, I don't think they've reached their peak. I think they probably may not even win because they remind me of the Senegalese team we had in Lagos in 2000 that lost to Nigeria, and by 2002 they were ready for the World Cup. They even got to the AFCON final. I think that there's a lot of talent in that team. I think there's a lot of progress being made, and I'm particularly happy that all of that is happening under Aliou Cisse, which is something that we have failed to do to trust our players. And every time we've had Nigerian coaches, we've frustrated them. Then we bring in journeymen foreign coaches and we pay them more. We offer them everything, and they still let us down. But we've seen with Senegal, we've seen with Algeria that you can actually give the same incentive to your own coaches and get the best result out of it. We know that no country has ever won the World Cup with a foreign coach.
I must say thank you so much. But before I let you go, Emeka, tell me, give me a prediction. Who is going to win Sunday's final?
I think Algeria will win, and I think the game might go to extra time, but I think Algeria will win.
Okay, thank you so much, Emeka, for talking to us. It's been a delight having you on the show. So that's it. Emeka Nyadike.
Thank you very much.
From Johannesburg in South Africa. And you guys, while Emeka was talking, I don't know. Nigerian football fans, in 1 minute in your album before we go on this break, it's going to be very difficult for persons to move on. But are we forgetting that this is a team that has been tagged work in progress?
We've heard that. It's almost becoming a cliche. With the youngest team going into the tournament, we're a young side and all of that. But in all honesty, we've got a lot of young players, young, exciting players. And like Emeka said, he made some very valid points.
Yeah.
I've always, and sometimes, because I'm not a coach, I find it very hard to be outright confrontational in terms of criticizing a coach. But I don't think Gennady has done enough for us, in my opinion. I don't think he's done enough, because there have been games where he could have managed it a lot better, but he hasn't. He didn't. Yesterday was one of those games where he could have managed it a lot better. But it's football. We'll get better. I hope we get better. I hope we come back and sort out our league.
Yeah.
I hope we don't do that quick fix thing again, going to Europe, looking for players with Nigerian surnames to be invited to the national team.
Yeah.
I hope we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
It's fine. People will say, irrespective of where you were born, you're Nigerian. And I totally accept. I mean, you're Nigerian. Yeah. But when you put it as a priority...
But everything starts at home, looking well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, when we do it as if it's almost second nature to us. We're going to Man United, going to Chelsea, we're looking for some Nigerian name with some Yoruba surname just to invite to the national team. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. We need to come back and sort our league, sort our football, take a commitment. Yeah, a commitment to develop our football from the grassroots.
I agree. Totally. Thank you. So let's go on this final break. When we come back, I'll read your comments. You guys are talking about that match. More reactions when we return. And of course, if we've got some time, we'll play tennis. Novak Djokovic won his 5th Wimbledon title over the weekend. I'll tell you more. Don't go anywhere. Stay.